Oh my god. Vad är det här för tur? Oj, det där var en bra gold rush äntligen alltså. Nice.
Multi-vanquish!
Nej. Åh, ja. Åh, tack.
His execution had been on point from start to finish. 4 seconds ahead. This was a rare opportunity to jump straight to the 2 points. But in his way, the last fight. Nick Cruz.
Sport complete!
The best way.
Tighten the hinge! Nuts and bolts!
So you start the fight with 2 ways.
Tighten the hinge!
Which punch he sets up to throw. If Nick drops his gloves down, you throw a throw, and you counter with body punch. Instead, he breaks the fire back and keep it on a base.
Multi-vanquish! Super multi-vanquish overload! Multi-vanquish! So many vanquishes! Crazy skills! Multi-vanquish! Still so many vanquishes! Multi-vanquish!
Oj, oj, oj.
Super punch out and just a sub 2 quick punch out is an action heal. Nobody goes to the multi-vanquish.
Han var så bra. Var så bra. Men, jag missar han.
This time, it was just the two left. But what this run was with how much time was still left to save. He saved almost 7 seconds combined on Bob Charlie and Dragon Chiller. One dodge, there was also some time to save up. Getting time around 10 seconds. The problem was getting all that time out. Then blaming counters on him, knowing what potential was there.
Pappa. Jag hade kunnat fått någon skinkmacka. Då hade jag kunnat fått någon skinkmacka.
But an 11 on 1 and a good Nick fight was enough for a solid.
Nej, jag inte gå för den fotografen. Varsågod. Ja.
Varsågod.
So, in this scenario, if your second knockdown comes in 7, 8, or 9 seconds, Macho will stay down and KO. If it comes at 10 seconds or later, you'll get up and you'll have to knock down for it. This mechanic is very across many fights. So, Zallard had to go for a very quick knock in phase 2. He had to throw a low super, counter in the gut, and knock him down with another low super. If Macho loses you out at the start, his strategy doesn't work. If Macho does any of his 3 exercise programs, his strategy doesn't work. The only way it works is if Macho stands perfectly still and waits. It's possible, but not very likely. So, what did Macho do this time? Well, he lost more than 7 seconds. A brutal blow, but the run was still technically alive. Next up, however, was Narcissus Prince, the most random fight of the entire game. Honestly, there's too many different things this guy can do to basically here. He can randomly block you, dodge you, and any different patterns with much more. But he has the same KO mechanic feature, where your second knockdown is within 3 seconds of the first. He typically stays down for good. With maximum cooperation, it's possible to beat Narcissus in 10 to 11 second range. There's so much that can go wrong. Anything under 15 seconds is considered a pretty good fight. But if Narcissus wants to waste time, he can make the KO impossible, and essentially kill the run. What sort of fight do you think he gave Zallard on this one? Nice. Good shit. Let's see here. What is that? 21 seconds? 12 seconds. No. Run. A small mistake plus a lot of bad luck. In just 2 fights, one of Zallard's best pieces ever was completely destroyed. He had just lost 16 seconds, largely due to no fault of his own. Because, you see, Super Punch-Out does not care about the winner. He doesn't care what pace you're in. He doesn't care how bad you want to win. He doesn't care how low you are. He can take away your own whatever it is. You can be on the win of your life, execute everything perfectly, but if you get bad luck, it's a game. There's not a game without it. So, 244 was where the record stand. It's your line, with no improvements in sight. Interestingly, in August 2015, the second person in sub 3 eventually beat Bob to 253, but he was far from the record. Still, Zallard was there. With 6 fights to go, Zallard entered the Magic Round, beating my friend winner. He ended up with an 11.
11-second fight. Narcissus didn't mess around too much, and he was able to get the KO at 11 seconds. Suddenly, Zallard was back in the lead.
Well, then.
Next up was Hoy, who we know can be just awful. But he got no ducks in phases 2 or 3. Yet another 11-second fight, and Zallard was 2 seconds ahead with 2 fights to go. This one was on pace for a 241, the type of run Zallard had been looking for years. But there's one fight I haven't told you yet, because Rick Bruiser has a twin brother that comes right before him. This is Rick Bruiser. Rick is a really straightforward fight. There's no luck involved for the first 2 phases, and the execution isn't too hard either. You get him dizzy in phase 1, then use counters and supers in phase 2. That stuff's fine. But then there's phase 3. The entire fight is made or broken on the first punch to the phase. If this high super lands, you'll finish the fight at 11 seconds. Doesn't mean you're getting a 16. For the rare cases of 14, but more often than not, it's a 16. That's a 5-second difference. Enormous for a game like this. 5 minutes at the time, the super lands. If you don't see the time, it does not. That's all there is to it. A little over half the time, Rick Bruiser will get his run. But 3 times out of 8, he will destroy your run. So, Zallard entered the fight 2 seconds ahead. A huge opportunity. He had the threat of a massive time loss hitting over his head. What did Rick Bruiser do? Well, it's super punch out, beat on record pace. What do you think?
Didn't do it. So it's over. It's over.
No mercy. 244 is where the record is. Zallard took a break for a few months, but still, there was no real threat to his record. Hootie was still the second place runner, only 10 seconds behind. So, in early 2016, Zallard came back for more, praying he could get the last few seconds within his grasp. On April 14th, he had a run slightly behind with 4 fights to go. He had time to save against the 14th Narcissus split, and managed a 13th. Hoy was another fight with time to save, and once again, he squeezed out a second. So, Zallard was ahead going into Rick Bruiser. If he would just stand still and take the uppercut, he was gonna have a shot at the record. He needed the 5-8 spark.
Got it.
And he won. Zallard was now 2 hit counters away from the world record.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Finally, Zallard had lowered the record. This wasn't the god run he was looking for. Dragon Chan gave kicks, Cloud gave a 12, and the special circuit could have been better, but it was still a 243. After this run, Zallard took a step back, not only from Super Punch Out, but from speed running as a whole. For a year and a half, he didn't do any runs, giving other runners a serious opportunity to step in and hit the record. But nobody did. Zallard remained at the top unchallenged, with the closest player still waiting. It's quite rare to have records undisputed for this long, but Zallard's mastery of the game was far ahead of anyone else's. Finally, 18 months after his 243, he went back to the test. It was hard to expect a record right away, since it had been so long since his last attempts. It took some time to get back into it, but he eventually started getting runs there. Still, nothing good enough for the number. But all of a sudden, on November 29th, 2017, Zallard found himself on this run.
This is kind of stupid. Dude, if I get the kick, there's no way. No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. What is this? What is this? Alright, but you could totally fucking dodge me. And still be okay. I missed, dude. Yes. Fuck, dude.
One of the toughest things to do in speedrunning is executing under pressure. Super Punch-Out may be no coach in this, but even when you're on the lines, you still have to execute. And if you don't, you're going to get punished. Fortunately, after years of running the game, Zallard had become quite resilient, and a few months later, he had another run ahead into the special squad, albeit not quite as far ahead. But suddenly, after managing a 10 on Hoy, the pace became much more serious. A 6-second lead late in the run, just 2 fights to go, a huge chance for redemption. Want to guess what Rick did in phase 3? Of course. Still, he led by about a second, and hit the counters on Nick for a small record.
That's it.
It wasn't what it could have been, but a 242 was still progress made. And on April 26th, he'd make even more progress. A 240.36. Cutting off nearly 2 seconds, this was the biggest improvement he had made to the record in nearly 3 years. But at the end of the run, Zallard didn't sound too happy about it.
Give me the unwinnable luck here, please. Please. God fucking damn it, dude. Dude. Are you kidding?
Why was that? Well, despite the improvement, this run could have been a lot better. On Mr. Sandman, he mistimed a high super to lose 2 seconds. And on Hoy, he lost over 1.5 seconds from a mistimed low super. Had he not made those errors, this run would have finished at an incredible 236. But mistakes were made, and the result was a frustrating record. Take a look at this timeline. This was all Zallard. He had set 16 records over the course of 5.5 years. This sort of thing is very rarely seen in speedrunning. A run can sometimes dominate for a few years, but for it to continue for this long was pretty special. Zallard had eyes for a run in the 230s, but 240 was a seriously good time. It was going to have to be good enough, as Zallard slowly stopped playing and didn't want to be influenced. His 240 remained at the top unchallenged. But suddenly, in 2019, the unthinkable happened. A new contender began rising up the leaderboards. He became the second player to get a time under 250, and suddenly, he was just 5 seconds from the record. And he was going to try to do something nobody else had done before. Become the first Super Punch-Out single-segment record holder not named Zauer 1. His name was Mystery Man 95. Mystery Man was a seasoned veteran in the Punch-Out series, running Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and holding the record in Punch-Out B. These games all require precise timing and rhythm, so it's no wonder he was able to adapt so easily. But there's one other thing to keep in mind about Mystery Man. He played on Wii U Virtual Console, meaning he had a few frames of input delay. Remember how you have to react to Nick Bruiser's guard? That's effectively impossible with input delay. So, Mystery Man had to guess where Nick's guard would be and not react. This added a huge luck barrier to the end of the game. He'd usually have to correctly guess a 50-50 guard position twice in a row, once in phase 1 and once in phase 2. He'd need to do that to have any shot at beating Zauer's record. Fortunately, Mystery Man had some strategies to help on other fights. One was on Rob Charlie. The old strategy involved 7 punches in phase 1 where Bob could dodge any of them. Instead, he countered Bob on the 5th one and did the rest while stunning him. This cost about a effect, but made it so that Bob could now only dodge the first 4 punches rather than all 7. He also did something different with Poncho. By delaying phase 1 slightly to get the knockdown at a 7 instead of a 6, the KO window shifted up to 10 seconds instead of 5. You could then delay the first punch of phase 2 so that it intercepts if Poncho moves to the side, making a KO possible in more situations. These strategies were both developed by Chambers, and Zauer did use them for his last few records, but not the majority of them. And Hoopy had figured out something additional on Poncho. Ducking into a left jab, right jab to start phase 1 to counter Poncho if he dances at the start. So, Mystery Man had a chance to really put these strats to use and see what he could do. And in August 2019, with his personal best at 2:45, he was going to try to close the gap on one attempt. There was a new king of Super Punch-Out, and he had done it by a mile. Mystery Man himself didn't see this coming. A 2:36 demolished the record. The most incredible part of this run was the special circuit. It set a new standard. A 12 on Narcissus was a solid start, but a 9 on Toy was incredible. He had a perfect phase 1 and just 1 duck in phase 2. The Brick took the uppercut in phase 3, and you had no counters on Nick. These were the types of special circuits you needed for a world record. You need great luck and no mistakes. And despite the input delay, despite the massive odds against him, Mystery Man had pulled it off at the end of the run. For the first time ever, the record didn't belong to Zauer 1. Mystery Man had ushered in a new era of Super Punch-Out speed. As slowly, the leaderboard began to expand with more people winning celebrations. This This was the type of competition Super Punch-Out had been missing for the last several years. By mid-2020, there were 7 runners tied for world records. One of those people was known as Stock. Stock had a similar path to Mystery Man. Slow forward was personal best before settling on the street. This meant he was still 9 seconds from the record. But in August 2020, he would find himself at a remarkable pace. 10 seconds ahead of his personal best, and a second ahead of the record, going into Rick Bruiser. This was a 2:35 pace, and he was in position to take the record. He just needed Rick to stand still in phase 3. He did not. But thanks to his huge lead, Stock still finished with a 2:39, the second sub-240 ever achieved. Entering 2021, Mystery Man's world record was still on top, but the community was ever expanding. By February, 2 more players had achieved times in the low 240s, Frankenson and Mr. Mega, and the top of the leaderboard was getting quite crowded. It seemed inevitable that someone was going to break through. And on February 26th, Frankenson was going to have a shot at it. He fell behind early thanks to a dodge from Bob and the slow heal on Dragon Chan. But from there, everything got better. A 9 on Clown, a 10 on Macho, and a 9 on Narcissus. 3 essentially perfect splits in a row. A 10 on Koi was easily good enough, and Rick took the uppercut. He was about a second ahead of the record going into Big Bruiser. But here's the thing. Just like Mystery Man, Frankenson played on Wii U Virtual Console. So, he too had to mix and both against others. The odds were stacked against him. All he could do was try. New world record. 2:35.68. Frankenson had about as close to a perfect second half as possible. Specifically, these 3 fights were impossible to gain time, at least with the strategies he was using. The major circuit lost him some time, but when combined with the incredible second half, it was easily good enough. As 2021 continued, the leaderboards became more and more difficult. By May, 6 people had a time in the 230s. As incredible as Taylor's dominance was, he was now in 7th place. The level of luck you needed for a world record run was rapidly increasing. Even a 12 on Forces, that suddenly didn't look so good compared to the time that was important. A few new strategies were worked out, particularly on Narcissus, but the biggest one was on Koi. Frankenson figured out a new phase 1 that would ultimately give a higher chance for the AZQ to go. Those fights would be crucial as the record was approaching the low 230s. In mid-2021, players Morifuma, Mr. Mega, Universe, and Fat Potato Seal would all have runs against the final 2 fights in the 30s. Sadly, in Morifuma's case, he made a mistake on Rick. And for the rest, they lost the run to Big Bruiser. Especially at the end of a run.
Oj, nu kör vi. 1:27. Oj, vi kör.
With several people at the top trying, they knew that the final run had to run. A run where
Vi kör.
But the odds in a run like this were getting very low. At this point, likely 1 in several hundred. Was anybody going to take it for 235? On September 3rd, 2021, Mr. Mega was released from the attempts.
So many
And he suddenly
vanquishes, so
found
little
himself on
time.
an incredible pace.
Kom igen, snälla jag ber.
And 7
Nej.
perfect LNG. So
Vilken
far, this was a
1:27.
He lost a bit over a second thanks to a 10 on
Och så kommer den där dumma bajsblomman.
He could easily
Och gör mig till en get.
a little over a
Oh my
second ahead
god.
going into Boy. Now more than ever.
Alltså jag är så ledsen.
An 8 is a perfect time for Boy. Rick Bruiser led his super through, and Mr. Mega was 3.5 seconds ahead into Nick Bruiser. This wasn't just a world record pace. This was destroy the world record pace. If there was ever a time to execute on Nick Bruiser, this was it. No pressure. A huge world record from Mr. Mega. He had just shot himself 50th first place. This was the time he had been looking for all these years. A run in the road to wins. Good luck will be everything, and nailing it with Bruiser. It wasn't perfect, but the opportunities for fail saves were extremely limited. Super Punch Out had finally gotten the unmoved. And that's where this video would end. That's where the story would end. But it doesn't. Look, I don't switch to first-person narration often, but I don't really have words to adequately describe what happened next. Because 8 days after Mr. Mega set this record, Fat Potato Seal is one of the busiest things I've ever seen. On the screen is the running total of the odds of the run Fat Potato Seal was on. He entered the first major luck barrier in the game, Bob Charlie, and ended up getting a 6. A perfect fight with no dodges or blocks. He then fought Dragon Fan, and once again got perfect luck with the healer. Masked Muscle also gave the best luck possible. He had gotten perfect luck through the first half.
Pappa, har vi mer av sånt där bröd? Har vi mer sånt där bröd? Nice.
Ja,
det gjorde jag. Jag åt typ allt. Eller typ allt. Men liksom jag var typ bara typ... Jag hade idrott och liksom jag rörde på mig. Kanske lite stenberg, men... Eller, ja, visst.
His random uppercut in phase 3. Yes, he got the best possible luck. I've been making these videos for 5 years, and this run, I genuinely don't remember seeing anything like this in any other game. Other than half a second from Narcissus, on every single fight with RNG swing, he had just gotten perfect luck with strategies. Not good luck, not great luck, perfect luck. Fat Potato Seal was on a 2:27 pace into Nick Bruiser. Just imagine the pressure in a situation like this. Knowing this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Your hands start to go numb. You feel your heart beating in your throat. Basic tasks become nearly impossible. And landing counters on Nick Bruiser is anything but a basic task. But he may never see this pace again. Isn't it? it's hard to expect anyone to have actually pulled it off at the end of this run. Even Fat Potato Steel, one of the best players in the world, the situation he was in was unprecedented, and might not be seen again for months, years, or even longer. But still, it's a heartbreaking feeling. It just goes to show, even when Super Punch-Out does give you the luck, it can still punch you right in the face. Over the years, we've seen all sorts of world records. Ones that seemed like they had no chance, ones that were on monster paces, and everything in between. This run's history isn't over yet, and its timeline isn't yet complete. We're just living in a moment of Super Punch-Out's history, and there's still plenty of history left to go. Thanks for watching. Can still punch you right in the face. So we're on monster paces, and everything in between. There's still plenty of history. And this time, basic tasks become nearly impossible. And landing counters on Nick Bruiser is anything but a basic task. But he might never see this pace again in his life.
Doppio nunca sei com aquela, mas com o Pedrinho.
Nah.
Isso, eu nunca sei comigo com aquela.
No.
O dia que você tem que também. Você já está muito de telefone.
Okay.
Ghost those enemies and collect the treasure.
See, kids? Spyro is cool. He needs a body. Stop you with the big shame. Smashing all of your nan's china with your head. Guiding the island to island. Setting
från min hage.
Basically guarantees a hit if you face the general direction of the breath, since it has such a big frame. The whole something can use this ball to reward the utility of the frame gradient. Blasts and blasters must have basic boost no problem, and gives you a speed boost which makes basic running around much more brilliant. But you need to get a bit more hidden. Part 4. Whirlwinds. If you jump into a whirlwind, the camera moves downwards and lets you look like a spider of time. Small thing that isn't a dragon and has nothing to do with dragons at all. That wispy little skinny lemon sparks the dragonfly and is your health bar somehow. Yellow means you've got 4 hits left, blue is 3 hits left, green is 2 hits left, gold is 1 hit left, and then keep yourself healthy by fighting smaller creatures that have no ways of fighting back, just like the green ones. But honestly, I couldn't care less about fighting points. I just want sparks to look yellow as often as possible. Because blue and yellow look like small cheese. I don't want sparks to look yellow, so I give as many power as possible. I would even go all the way back to the beginning of the next level to top it up if I had to. No small animal is too far away for me to look up. In fact, really, you just have fun in your spare time, don't you, small? What? You can say that again. And here's where things get interesting. On their own, the moves that Spyro can pull off are pretty sweet. When you mix them together. You get big enemies that can only be framed, and armored enemies that can only be charged with your horns. Then you get enemies that are too big to charge, but also armored from your flame, so if the weakness is something to slow you. You get kind of dragon eggs that are stolen by thieves that are too quick to be claimed, so need to be charged towards all over the level while they go. This always triggers my stomach acids. You get supercharged panels on the wall to make your charge get faster and faster the more time you spend on the panels, and the more time you spend on the panels, the further your jump and glide becomes. And it's because of that example in particular why I love level 3. Once you get going, it's like. Starts on the supercharged panel, It's great to see you, but I've got to go.
All right. Bye then. You know what all of the dragon's favorite thing is to say, though?
Thank you for releasing me.
I swear that most of these smelly lizards say this line on repeat, and by the end of the game, nearly every single one of them says it. You want to see how many I found?
Thank you for releasing me.
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 Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me.
But don't worry, not all of them say thank you. Some of them say thanks.
Thanks for releasing me.
It's really a shame, though, that as a game itself, Spyro 1 is just alright. Welcome to my Arabian toilet. Yeah, despite my accolades, I actually don't think Spyro 1 is that great, mainly because of how primitive and stripped back it feels, especially compared to the sequels, which isn't Spyro 1's fault, but I'm blaming him anyway. And I don't care what you say, because I'm friends with the super popular YouTuber Vsauce too, aren't I, Kevin? You may kiss the bride. Oh, hey, Jim! See, he even calls me by my real name, like my mummy when she's upset. You know, it's weird. It always surprises me when I remember that the first Spyro came out in 1998. This wasn't an early PlayStation title, and yet I think it feels like one. There's just something missing. I can't explain it. There's no gimmicks, no major surprises. I mean, I do love simplicity and games that are to the point, but with cartoony collectathon Johnny John Spyro the Johnson, the simplicity holds it back for me. Especially when you compare it to the following games, Spyro 1 feels really plain, just like how Crash 1 feels compared to Crash 2. And by 1998, Crash 3 had already perfected the Crash formula, whereas Spyro was just getting his feet wet. And when Spyro gets his feet wet, he dies. The collectathon gameplay loop is pretty basic and gets a bit samey for me after World 2, with not much variety in what you actually do, aside from more dangerous glides and slightly different enemies. And for as much as I love the visual style, the presentation itself also gets a little bit too samey for me. Aside from that, these things can get royally shitted off too. What are these things? Why do they look like that? How do they slide around so quickly? Get off me, you radish! No matter how many times I replay this game, I can never remember the names of levels or tell them apart by screenshots. They just don't leave much of a lasting impact on me. I don't think there's anything entertaining or that endearing about the characters and the story. Spyro's voice,
I think I smell a barbecue.
makes me want to shit down a chimney. The sound effects feel really wet and sloppy without much impact or crunch. The charge controls are pretty damn loose and slippery. The charging jump height is shorter than a stand for a toddler trying to reach a sink. The glide can sometimes feel really heavy that doesn't always make its target even when you feel like it should. And then there's all the little things that add up over the course of the game. You hit these and then jump over them to get the gems. Why? It's awkward. If you miss it, you just do it again. Waste of time. These things you breathe fire on over and over again until they pop. Pointless. Why am I doing this? Waste of time. This rolling mechanic, useless. I only find it handy on these single dog enemies on this single level because everything chases you down anyway, even if you roll. Waste of buttons. Then you have the soundtrack, composed by one of my favourite drummers of all time, Stuart Copeland. It's a soundtrack beloved by basically everyone. And I think it's... God. Yes, it's that Stuart Copeland, the drummer from the all-time classic rock band, Policeman. And look, I don't hate...
Hola, Papa. I'm calling you to say I've spent you good enough. Because I really wanted to be here already. Dance with me. When you said the word and I felt frustrated.
The music. It's good music. In fact, it's one of Barry Craven's favourites, and he's going to play a little bit of it for us right now. Let's take it away! I don't get the undying love of this game's soundtrack in particular. I think it's way too spacious and meandering for the kind of game that this is. And if you tied a rope around my neck and asked me to match which songs go with what levels or else you'll hang me, I'd say, I don't know. Don't get me wrong though, when the visuals and music come together into a gourmet, creamy cereal, it's downright incredible. Now with added, my go-to example being Dark Hollow in World 1.
Nej, okej. Vi kör på det här alltså. Kör på det här.
But as a whole, I just don't dig the soundtrack that much. It's well constructed, it's well performed, and there are some great tracks here. I just can't remember most of it, and I don't think it matches the gameplay that well. And these bosses, these bosses, these absolute garbage fire F-tier bosses, F for very stinky. These are the worst parts of the game for me. They aren't bosses, they're regular levels that are really small with slightly stronger enemies that I wouldn't let near a school. First boss, Toasty. He's a scarecrow that is actually a sheep on stilts. Hit 3 times, he does nothing. These regular dog enemies are more dangerous than him. Second boss, Dr. Shep. Hit his back after jumping over like...
Kom igen, snälla. Åh, tack.
Charge into metal poles that are electrified. You win. Boss fight, Shark. Do some platforming and then question why the hell he has a regular French name. Final boss, Nasty Rock. Is sadly just as easy to kill as any other regular North. You chase him, he does nothing, you win. When the edge of the wall thing is more threatening than the final boss, you know you balls. The things you got a free sleep reward for 100% in the game, though. You get access to Nasty's moves. The only actual free-flying level that you can explore everywhere, open everything, and steal all of his treasure. Thanks to the stimulus check, Nasty press, and the credits roll. Nostalgia. You know, even though this is my favourite Spyro game, I do have problems with it. I do like it a lot still to this day. I enjoy this game, and every time I reach this credit sequence and hear this music and watch all the low quality fly-by level kind of stuff going on, it lets me know that I made a good choice in picking up this game to play anymore. No sheep were harmed during the creation of this game. No, you're lying. You cooked them up and used them. Spyro 1 is a classic, no doubt. But at the end of the day, even though I've got a lot of nostalgia for it, this is not the game that I replay whenever I feel like a bit of it. It's better than Crash 1 for a first attempt, but it still feels like a first attempt. You're a first attempt. Oh no. Who is that? I'm the amazing Wendigo. The amazing Wendigo. No. Where? Look, they made another Spyro game. This is where shit starts getting good. Thank you, the amazing Wendigo. Oh, fuck! Yes, you lads, it's Spyro 2. He's back, and I'm back. Look alive, everyone. It's Simon 2, Rip My Ropes, or as I personally know it, Simon 2. Great. Garda. To be honest, I prefer the European name of Gateway to Glimmer against Ripto's Rage, but I will admit it is strange. Glimmer is just the first level of the game. You're never looking for a gateway to it. That'd be like if this was called Crash Bandicoot Sand. Straight away, we've got much better cutscenes with actual story in them. And boom, bang, bing, we've got new characters who are better than anything we saw in Spyro 1. You've got the Professor, who's a bastard mole, picking up all of my lawn! You've got Alora, who's a poor mute dog, and Hunter the Cheetah, who always looks like he wipes with his fingers. Even Simon's voice has improved.
Is this rain ever gonna stop? I've forgotten what the sun looks like.
If you don't know, that is the voice of Tom Kenny. And if you don't know who that is, I'll give you a hint.
Now they've set up voice fields to separate us. If you can find diodes, you can use them to turn off the voice field.
One thing though, why, only in the cutscenes, does it sound like the voice actors are spitting into the mics?
That's exactly the point. A dragon is our only chance of stopping Ripto.
Oh, there's also the new baddie, Ripto, who is very small and angry. That's basically all there is to him. I never really understood the love for him as a villain, I'm sorry. And these three bozos accidentally summoned him to their world, so intercepted Spyro on the way to his holiday. Oh, sorry, vacation. Yeah, your best friends in this game kidnap you and hold your holiday hostage until you fix their big messy. Thanks so much, you woman. Donkey. Spyro 2 as a game, though, is basically Spyro 1 again, but everything is better. Literally everything. It's like jumping from Crash 1 to Crash 2, or pre-vomit to post-vomit. And I'm far from the only person that thinks that, right, Dradex?
Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 somehow even worse.
Yeah, you're right. There's just so many quality of life changes here, it's not even funny, and it all comes together perfectly to make me go, the glide falls a little bit slower to make long jumps easier, the charge control's a lot tighter and lets you jump higher while charging to make rushing around levels twice as easy. Sparks the Dragonfly picks up gems from further away. He eats butterflies from burned animals much faster than Spyro 1. The camera moves around from a bit faster. The sound effects are guttier and have more punch to them. And on top of the updates to existing ideas, there's all the new stuff added in too, like auto-saving, which was a massive deal, because back in those days, we didn't have it. Instead of the stop immediately and splat on the floor triangle move you could do mid-glide in Simon 1, now you have a hover move to give you extra time to correct a glide and give you a tad more height and distance at the end of the glide. Now, instead of getting extra lives from the life clam, while Sparks is at full health, you can stack with multiple bird animals to finish off your life. Ain't enough, Spyro should spit. Enemies now don't drop gems to collect, instead adding a defeated enemy tally that can help you unlock a temporary power-up specific to that level, giving you way more chances for supercharging alongside brand new powers like spring jumping, projectile super breath attacks, and temporary flight in the level. And speaking of levels, you now only need to collect one thing at the end of the stage to beat it, with optional missions dotted around each level, awarding you orbs that can be used to unlock further levels, bosses, and secrets. And they can sometimes be centered around the platforming that Spyro does best, or something totally new and different, like hockey matches against this freak, various puzzles hidden around the stage, or blowing up a load of UFOs piloted by... And to top it all off, when you collect everything, you get a little dote! The Speedway stages return and are exactly the same as previously. Okay, that was a quick sorry. But now after you beat the main time travel challenge, you can then fully explore the Speedway level without a time limit to find secret little bounties to talk to, who then give you more unique orb missions that change up the gameplay even more. And then you can end your day by being a flag-burning, filthy hippie. Yeah, down with vegetables. Oh yeah, there's also way more cutscenes now too. Some for entertaining story bits, and others for whenever you enter and exit a new level, just to give them that extra dash of personality and depth to them. I like them. You see what the problems are in the level before you get there, help them out, then you fix the problem and see what happens after you leave the level. It's like mini stories within the main story. It's really cute, but as a kid, I hated the Aquaria Towers one. Poor little seahorse dying from lack of water and being baited over and over again for a drink he never gets. Just give him the damn water, you wretch! This isn't Saw 3! What's cool though is that every level has inhabitants to talk to now, and they're nearly all...
Jag får vara identiskt bra.
The only other thing you could interact with in Simon 1 was the balloonist. And sorry man, not only did you not actually speak, but you were only ever good for being a step lab. Even the fairy checkpoint talks to you now. She's called Zoe, and she likes to pitch shift her voice at random.
That zap means if you get into trouble, I'll return you to this place. Each time you defeat an enemy, it will release a spirit code. What's up with you, Zoe? Have you got a bad cough?
The border workers have boxed up most of our baby pebbles. The box
are incredibly strong.
Oh no, what are we going to do, Gromit? But then there's another character introduced in this game that would go on to become a Spyro staple. A character that dredges up the worst of a human being. A character that inspires fear, hatred, spite.
Hello there, Spyro. Would you like to learn to swim underwater? I suppose I could teach you for a small fee.
Moneybags is a round bell end, seems to exist everywhere, all at once, on every level, and only lives for one thing: locking things away from you and stealing your gems in order to unlock them for you. That's all he is. He's a fat, greedy barrier that has no conscience, no dignity, and only cares about punching. Must be fronting. In a rich man's gums, he is a leech, a scale. He's an alt-right Winnie the Pooh that converted a generation of kids into anti-capitalists. And to be perfectly frank, he makes me want to get my killing shoes on.
What a sweet relief.
In fact, I don't even think that any furries like him. Let's ask one. Oi, Adam!
Alright, E621, Spyro, the underscore red, space, order, explore, enter.
What? It doesn't do anything for him. Oh, what's that? You want to sell me a trip on a submarine to get by a load of robot sharks? I don't need any of that. You're scamming me. Look, see, I don't need to... Okay, fair enough. Oh, look at you there, Moneybags. Are you a little cold from the snow? Oh, no, wait. It's just your soul! My favourite thing to do with him is actually use a double jump glitch at level 1 to not only completely ignore him and his stupid bridge, but also use the same glitch to get on top of the ledge that I also need to pay your page running again to learn how to climb, and then finish off the rest of the level without paying him a cent, meaning that I can then perform his swimming lessons right after level 1 without needing to go to another level first to try and save up.
This has been the savings. Next week, you'll find out how to stop yourself from spending your own money by learning how to keep pennies in your ass.
The levels are bigger and give you way more stuff to do and leave a longer lasting impression, but they aren't so big as to make you go, oh no, I can't eat that. And the music is miles better as well. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it sucks. Milkshake through a big straw. It's way more creative, zesty, multi-instrumental, and more percussive. There's even vocals in some of the tracks, my favourite being the one that sounds like a meditating Mr. Bean. And the one where it sounds like a really big man just ate something he didn't like. Then there's all the little monk dudes with their mouths that look like urinals and they go... If you ask me, though, the award for best line easily goes to...
I think you should kill Beckett.
He's so hardcore about killing an animal that he even goes off script.
Kill!
Oh, by the way, I have a theory about this game that I don't think anybody has ever brought forward before. Hunter is Riptide, and no, I don't mean just because of their exact same size. Other characters in the game are all like,
can you help me tie my shoelaces?
and then you help them and they reward you. But Hunter, he deliberately bricks himself in igloos and hides orbs from you until you nearly kill yourself on a jet ski parachute. He won't give you 2 orbs that you desperately need to save the world unless you run around in a sub-zero cave catching crystals to amuse him. He won't give you the items that you need to defeat the man that he summoned himself until you jump on his captured manta ray and follow a seahorse through a bubble of fart. He plays dumb, but he's not dumb. He has like half of the orbs you already need in his pocket and just doesn't give them to you because Lamau, have you ever noticed that you've never seen him together on the second screen? He's the bad guy here. He is Riptide. I also love the way that so many characters have a little poly PS1 over-exaggerated head and mouth shape. They all look like talking constantly. Hi Hunter, I'm Spyro, and I want to burn all of your incriminating documents. Thanks, Spyro! There's even this one level where you run around and find all of the bones of a skeleton to put it back together. How beautiful is that?
It's so good to see my friend looking healthy again.
Does he? Oh no, what does that mean? What's gonna happen? Yes, I had to sit through the whole thing, so you had to as well. Now, let's move on to...
I think he wants to dance for you. Oh, no. Oh, hello.
My favourite part of the whole game, though, is when you get to World 2, Autumn Plains, and find this level called Set, where there are all these slugs on the ground in the middle of a civil war with these birds from the sky. You help out the slugs by destroying the birds' ammunition village. Wow! What an explosion! My disc is a little scratched, but then immediately after that is another level called Breezy Windpipe, where you go to the homeland of the birds in that same war, and then you help them get their airship running again so they're able to counterattack Savannah, ensuring that the war can rage on for many years to come. Spyro is indifferent to global relations. He is a war profiteer. They're not separate anyway, because there are these baby birds that spit ammunition from other birds, dropping it from the sky into their mouths, and when they don't have anything, they're like, Mummy, I'm hungry, feed me, Mummy. Oh, you're hungry, are you? Yeah, well, I've got your mummy right here, you little scab. Then there's a bit where there's a slug named Romeo and a bird named Juliet, and a tragic star-crossed love on the battlefield, and you need to reunite them in this extremely fun Magic Seed platforming puzzle, where different platforms grow in different soil, and when you want the seed back, the soil clenches like a bumhole, and I'm solving the puzzle. Juliet's outlined it. There's just so many fantastic moments here. How about that mission where you have to get the professor's pencil back by trading an egg with a nest that spits out a seed to go into a plant pot that spits out a rubber duck that goes to the duck family to give you a turnip? What? Okay, which then needs to go into a cauldron which spits out a coin that goes into a water fountain that gives you a very soggy pencil. It's so good, man. And how about the secret agent that sounds like, I'm a secret agent? And when he's looking around to make sure you aren't following him, he does that. That is how I'm looking around for things for the rest of my life. And the robots in Metropolis, they're adorable. Listen to them. Even the boss drones. There's only 3 this time, but it doesn't matter because they all make up for the wet jokes that were in Spyro 1. They actually have attacks. They're fun fights, and in Gulp's case, even a little bit challenging. This is one of the better bosses in the whole Spyro series, actually. As great as Simon 2 is, though, I don't think it's perfect. In fact, there's a couple of major real low points. This, I'm just making literally too. And pushing up roses can name like 50 of them, can't you?
Oh, Spyro.
No! Mission in Hurricane where you have to put lightning stones into power generators and then have to defeat the thieves that keep removing them and throwing them around the level. I mean, look, I'm very glad that I finally get some representation. But man, does this take forever. It isn't difficult, just immeasurably boring. This part here where you need to play with Vic Tiki's mouth, I can't stand this bit. You need to get 10 fish in his mouth, and any red fish will reset the counter by like a minute. By the time you see the yellow ones, it's like that they're the ones to blame. It's too late to blame if you miss them out. So you end up prematurely hitting Flame, or thinking that you're flaming a yellow fish, but it's actually a red fish, and then, oh god, not that one! Spyro, don't crack off! Nowadays, I just cheat this bit by putting directly into the water in first person and see what fish is coming. Well, is it cheating? I'm just using what the game gives me. I'm a good boy. And of course, that's another thing, possibly the most infamous part of the whole game. But before we get there, I just have to ask you a quick question. Okay, well actually, generally me to be a contrarian. This isn't hard. It's not easy, but it's really not that bad. I don't know what you're talking about, you whinging wets. In fact, while recording footage for this video, I finished the mission first time, and then had to start the mission again and deliberately throw up in order to record the guy saying, "Trouble with the trolley, eh?" I mean, I don't know what to add. It just isn't that hard. And you know what else isn't? The turtle soup mission. Yeah, I said it. What's the big deal? Just keep looping around the pipes that they spawn from, and then knock the turtles away if you come across them. They'll bounce all over the place, and it gives you plenty of time to get them back in the water. What's the big deal, you baby bitch buggers? And the dinosaur egg hatching and eating the village people. Yeah, sure, I failed this one like once or twice, but once you get the pattern down, it's just like Simon Says, but if Simon only had 8 Simon noises for you to copy, and then Simon played the same Simons every time you exciting. And what about the bombing genie mission in Scorch? Not a big deal either. Did it on my first go. Here's a tip for you if you're struggling. Stop charging after him and stick to the wall so that you avoid most of the bombs bouncing off of them. You can't rush this bit. Just go slowly, especially around the steps. You're gonna hate it if you try charging. Trust me.
Hey, you want to know what the worst mission of the game is?
Will you escort me past those earth shapers?
No! How about instead suck my nuts?
I hate this so much. Why didn't you remind me I had to do this, Fushi?
Oh, Spyro, these little pads wagging out here.
Everything they say about VTubers is right. So you've got this motherless goat who has a potion to give Hunter because he wasted his month's rent on a new pair of concrete Nikes. And even though the goat is literally next door to where Hunter is, he momentarily forgets how to steer his own legs and ends up going on a cross-country marathon instead, deliberately walking right into all of the enemies, changing his mind on where he's going all the time, getting in the way of you, rushing around, and you can't get rid of the enemies. All you can do is knock them back temporarily. So getting them all out of the way of him in advance won't work. And the best thing, the 10 out of 10 game of the year, best thing that happens is that if you finish this mission, Hunter then says, thanks for getting me out, Spyro, but you need to learn a new move to help me kill all of these monsters, so come back and find me again when you learn it. So you carry on playing the game, learn the move, come back to the level to help out Hunter, and he couldn't wait 5 minutes to put his Adidas stones back on, meaning you've got to do the first part of the mission all over again. What's that? I already have this orb? I had no idea. But anyway, you finish the game and do everything. Get the orbs, grab the talismans, run away from this horrific face, and one of them decided to bring back the bushwhackers from Spyro once he place an Aztec curse on their family. You finally beat Ripto, and he just accepts his death. Oh, screw it, I can't win. Everybody celebrates, Hunter sits on Moneyback's face, and we finally go on a holiday in a lovely final cutscene. It isn't a cutscene, we got you. Dragon Shores is the final level that is literally just a fun fair that rewards you with tickets in order to unlock a theatre to watch the game's cutscenes again. Internet. Play a game of water dunking, ride a roller coaster with a cannon to pop balloons, go to a duck shooting gallery, and never question why the biggest enemies from the first game are now welcoming you to a dark room inside a theme park with no one else in it. And you know what? I also really liked the Little Love Boat Tunnel because it taught all the kids that played this game that you can love whoever you want. You can love the same gender. You can find love even if you're a slave. Every yeti. If that's the style, you can be on your own. You can have a three-way. What? You can love children. Excuse me? And after all of this, if you found every gem and every orb in the game, you unlock a door that grants you a permanent super breath attack, which is now obsolete because the game is already over. Screw off. Unless you do a Tiger Woods. Shit, yeah, just quit the game and then start a new game that overrides the completed save file, and voila, you now have super breath from the minute you start the game. How sick is that? And that's not all that you can cheat. Do you want to make Simon look like he has leprosy? Because you can do that. What? That's still not enough? Well, how about a big head mode? Yeah, you can do that too. Finally, a game character just for me. What? Still not enough? Well, how about this? Spyro in a trouser post at the end. Okay, so where are we?
So sad.
Oh, look everyone, it's my good friend Face. You're now on game number 3. Ah, you are so full of fat. Give me another one.
Most people buy one PlayStation, but I have to buy 3.
You are full of surprises, Face, and so is this game. Huh? What? Oh yes, I forgot. I'm a PS1 player. And now I'm finally all on my own, everybody around me, and nobody else can do it. Welcome to my land. Oh dear, I've been sponsored by me. Yes, me. I've been sponsored by so many things that now I can finally afford myself. It's the collectible world of Cat Icarus, a limited edition exclusive Blu-ray set only available on the pixelempire.com/caddy in the description below. And when I say limited edition, I really mean it. They are selling out fast, and you've got to act now because once they're gone, they're gone. Inside this gorgeous PS1 shaped box that talks to you when you open it. Wow, look in here. Hello, I'm Spot. Your you'll find the Blu-ray disc itself with over 5 hours of Icarus content not available anywhere else on the internet, such as a Icarus episode all about the history of his 11 years on YouTube, a guided PS1 collection tour, a Hidden Block reunion podcast, and so much more. I've always wanted to have one thumb and no fingers. The menus of the Blu-ray have all been specially designed to look and sound as ugly as possible. I mean, look and sound like a 90s PS1 demo disc. And the case for the Blu-ray even features a huge PS1 manual-style booklet written by Caddy, featuring interviews with important people behind the scenes of the show, countless references and Easter eggs, and even a cheat code you can input on the main menu of the Blu-ray for an additional surprise. No, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Find out yourself. Buy it. And whenever I'm taking a ride on my favourite Hurricane and praying it doesn't stop over the sea, I like to mention the other things in this box set, such as the exclusive sticker sheet, a double-sided movie poster, 3 exclusive pins for your bag or your face, just make sure you clean the wounds, an extra-large sticker to show off what a huge sellout you are, it's the closest you'll ever get to touching the real response, get used to it, a chance to grab one of 3 Crash Bandicoot Relic tickets for a variety of different awards, like signed Caddy YouTube stickers, face-to-face Zoom calls, and $10 to $100 of Pixel Empire gift cards, and to top it all off, a hand-signed card with a scratch and sniff of Caddy's beard. That is not a joke. Do I look like I'm joking to you? I shouldn't need to explain to you why this is so cool, but I just did. And please buy it because this PS1 animation wasn't cheap.
Riveting.
Wow, wasn't that an interruption? Here's the rest of the video.
Spot complete.
Spot, come in, Spot. Are you there? Spot! 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 Oh boy, everyone, it's Simon 3. Yay, a donut. The final in the original classic trilogy made by Insomniac Games. What a fitting development, because as a kid, Spyro 3 made it the infinite on me. I adore Spyro 3 with every nerve ending, and every time I pop it in, it makes me want to... The hills are alive with the sound of... 6-year-old me played this game until he ate his own hands off. True story. It's the best game of the original trilogy to me, without a doubt. I don't really think it's the second one, but this game has a kangaroo doggy paddling in a lake. You're wrong. Is it because of nostalgia? Yes. Oh, sweet. You can pick your save file icon now. Who should I put in it? Right. Banana! So to kick things off, even though I love Spyro 2's characters, I was never really fussed about Ripto or whatever his beef was. I didn't find him that funny, that entertaining, or that endearing, which made me not really care about what he was planning to do. But this time, I actually kind of cared about what was going on. You've got this haggard old Minger called the Sorceress, who's so hefty you could send her out the front line, and her apprentice, Bianca, who have decided to steal all of the baby dragon eggs that came from all of the adult male dragons. Very progressive, Spyro 3. Well done. And instead of stealing them and taking them back to their secret lair, they decide to just leave the eggs all over the damn place for anyone to find. Good plan, guys. I'm sure this won't rear up and ram into you. The first egg is right next to where she was standing, and that means that this game's collectathon bread and butter are these dragon eggs that you use to unlock more of the game. And the eggs are just so giddy over being found that they birth right in front of you with no mess. Did that bow form in the uterus? You also have these baby dragons that don't mind being caught unawares, and... Does this mean the dragons have genetics? Now, somebody as nasty as this old bitch stealing all of these adorable little babies is bad enough and already makes her appear more like a threatening Cruella de Vil, except scaly and large. But as the game goes on, you then discover she wants to kill them all and rip off their wings for a new spell she's working. It's not even like she wants to eat them to keep herself alive or anything like that. She just wants to kill them so she can try a new magic trick. If that's not evil, I don't know what is. This causes me to change my mind about being evil to the devil. Hunter goes, taking that all aside though, I also really appreciate how much more of the gameplay and story are integrated together. There's way more cutscenes showing off what a cow the Sorceress is, which build up to the final boss really nicely. Throughout the whole game, Bianca keeps appearing out of nowhere and taunting you. And even with the levels in each world, instead of just going through each of them and then getting a magical thing to open a door to get closer to the final boss, instead you go to the levels, help the creatures out, and then as thanks, they all work together to build you a new transport method to get to the next area where you can find more hidden dragon eggs. When Hunter gets kidnapped halfway through the game, for a brief amount of time, all of the side missions and all the levels are unavailable. So come on, get on your ass and save him so you can come back and get more dragon eggs. Everything you do in Spyro 3 is so easy, it just fits into place better, you know. As for the game itself, well, everything that Spyro 2 did to improve on Spyro 1 is here. Everything from the controls to the weird and wonderful character designs that talk to you like you're grazing in a field. Yeah, me too. But in my humble opinion, it's just Spyro 2 Plus. It's Spyro 2, but even better. Not by much, they're still both incredible games, but this one beats it out for me just slightly. I mean, yeah, they removed the charming intro and outro level cutscenes, which does mean some of the levels start with, "There are Rhynocs everywhere, kill them!" and end with, "Here, take this egg." But everything else for me was chipped off and polished into the ultimate Simon experience. The camera is panned just a little further back to let you see more of what's around you. None of the temporary power-ups are gated off by enemy defeats. You can stop skating while ice skating now. They brought back way more long gliding platforming sections and secrets that Spyro 1 had, alongside more chances to supercharge than Spyro 1 and 2. Every character around you reacts to being set on fire now, which is a lot better than Spyro 2, where they just stand there defiantly. Walk away, bitch. You know, not that I play the characters that much anyway, because so many of them are too adorable, and I just want to help them out with their problems.
Our sun has gone out.
Well, shit, you're dead. They even added races to the classic speedway obstacle levels. They're really boring, yeah. Oh, also, Sparks the Dragonfly talks now. I love it. Moneybags came back, and he's still a festering bore. Although he doesn't sound like a drunk anymore.
I can let you into the little castle over there in exchange for a few chairs.
And now sounds like this.
Spyro! My, how fine to see you here.
He's more like a naughty, jovial uncle that tries to sell his nieces and nephews the warm, open, sticky sweets from his pocket. You know, olive sweet. So yeah, he's back to making life miserable, and so is the kid, the skeleton friend who's lost all his bones. And yes, he even does the bone dance again. Although this time, he goes on for so long that the regular stage comes back in the middle of it. Perfect. You know what? I don't like this Cloud either. Even when you complete his mission and make him happy, the best he can give you is this terrible, terrible face. But Moneybags does a little bit more this time instead of just ripping you off to get through doors. Get this. Now he works for the main villain. In fact, he comes right out the gate the first time you see him and just says the sorceress is paying him to be a tool. And he's standing guard for a collection of new animal buddies with their own stages that are fully playable. And once you buy them off of him, you can visit older levels that have their locked doors inside to then get in and find even more gameplay scenarios to make you go, wow, there's more gameplay scenarios. People often feel a bit like these are desperate ideas from a creatively spent development team, but I couldn't disagree more. They're desperate ideas from a creatively strong development team. First off is Sheila the Kangaroo, an adorable little muppet that takes the standard gameplay and flips it on its side to be about vertical height exploration more than long-distance gliding. And I find her levels extremely fun whenever you launch into the air and smash downwards. And according to the Reignited trilogy, she isn't female unless she has pigtails and a badge. Next up is Sergeant Bird. Just like that, with a wave of my wand. You're a secret spy, just like Jake. He is an agent with rockets on his shoulders, and I find his part fine. Not the best and not the worst. In open explorative bits with free flying all over the stage, he's a joy, and I appreciate how you can toggle on a below view for aiming drop missiles while still having full control of flight. But in tight spaces, it's like trying to fit an apple in a nostril. Then we have Bentley, a friendly Yeti who for some reason is also a London cop.
I genuflect them on noble deliverance. Hello, you. I'll have a Jack and Coke on the rocks, and don't worry, I brought my own knife.
I don't dislike him whatsoever, but he is my least favourite character to play, purely because he walks just a little bit too slow for me. I love how he stomps around and smashes everything without any effort and reflects projectiles, but a little bit more speed would be appreciated. Not to mention, he's so big that he drops off the screen of the dragon that you just saved. Move it! And lastly, there's Jim Carrey Monkey, who uses a rebounding laser gun, grenades, strafing, and third-person sniper shots to get through his section. I like these a lot, they're good fun, especially when you find his most powerful move, the Child Beard Gun. Plus, in those hidden Speedway bonus levels, you get to do them as Monkey, and that makes it better and more fun than Spyro 2 because it does, and you are listening to me. And hey, did you know that the first ever water birth in a video game was in Spyro 3? No, I'm not joking. Here it is. Welcome to planet Earth, kid. That's what your lungs filling up with water feels like. Alongside all the animal buddies Simon can save for extra gameplay, you can even control Sparks for the first time ever in his own top-down explorative shooting sections, which I really enjoy as well. You can boost, strafe, use limited power-ups all over the place, and when you finish each one, you unlock a new permanent ability for Spyro, like pointing Sparks towards the direction of missing gems, an absolute godsend, or giving yourself one extra hit before losing a life. Sure, there's parts which aren't perfect, but there's literally nothing I dislike in this game or don't look forward to. The worst part of any single Spyro game that's ever been released is in Spyro 3. Yes, I'm not exaggerating. Spyro 2 has more low points, but this single low point in 3 topples all of them on its own. The boxing match with Bentley and this filthy rat is utterly unplayable. You're supposed to have 3 attacks on a block, but absolutely none of these moves come out when you need them to. Either the delay is way too much, or Bentley is way too slow. Whatever the case, this stinking piss rag is able to perform every move at twice the speed as you, and somehow manages to combo when you're unable to, and blocks nearly every attack you perform like he's reading your mind. Hit him, goddamn, hit him, Bentley! Why are you missing him? Don't make me call you by your passport name! I could go on all day about this abominable challenge, especially when you put 1 egg for beating it once, but then need to survive for 3 rounds for a second egg, and come out the other end with the most health, which if you aren't definitely lucky, will take you over half an hour, and it's enough to give me a Diane Beast infection. Now ask yourself this, if a video game about a platforming purple dragon came out in the year 2000, what will it add into it to make it immediately much better? That's right, skateboarding. Shit you not, there's Spyro, a magical fantasy medieval dragon, on a skateboard, in space. This is the most long jump, backwards ass thing I think I've ever seen, but man, I just don't care. It's so much fun, especially the races where you have to keep doing tricks in midair to build up speed boost. How can you not love this? Look at him go! That's how I feel about Simon 3 as a whole, actually. It can get pretty stupid, but I just don't care because I'm having too much fun with it. And even if I'm not completely enamored with some of the new stuff, it doesn't matter because most of the game is you and Simon. And the increased charging and gliding segments for his gameplay specifically when compared to Spyro 2 are great enough for me to not mind the more experimental angles. My copy of the game is so overplayed and so remote that some of the eggs were hatched for ages. Sometimes boss 1 just gets stuck and won't stop pulling off this sick flip. Hello? What do I do?
Huh?
Help! Sheila!
Det är nog
Can you
vänta med.
believe this shit? And Spyro very frequently violates personal space.
Be sure to keep your friend Sparks the dragon while helping Spyro.
And do you mind getting your nose out of my
No.
face? Wow! And it's even better when Sheila is listening solo. She's all like,
In the know.
this bit always gets
In the know.
in the mission where you have to protect the
Beast.
skater on the side, the enemies end up playing hockey with her.
Ja. Ja, jag har ätit 2 mackor. Ja, det var hungrig. Och de var typ jättegoda.
Yeah, they're horrifying.
Ja. Mhm.
I swear they are this close to starring in an epic serial killer biopic.
Okej.
Oh, and the music this time? My Christ, the music this time? The music in this
Kom igen. Jag måste få bra tur i Precision 1. Jag ber. Precision 1.
This is one
Jag
of my
ber.
favorite video game soundtracks ever, of all time, period. It's everything that made Spyro 2 music so great, but amped up to 11. It's catchier, more percussive and rhythmic, groovier, more varied in genres, and every time I hear any track from it, I go... PS1 soundtracks. Nay, how many video game soundtracks in general can you say have a song in it that's in 7-8 time signatures? Sorry, everyone. I was just listening to The bosses are pretty good too. There's more of them than in Spyro 2, and they all look and feel completely different from each other. Not to mention, I think they all look pretty threatening as well, which is a plus. This guy used to terrify me as a kid. That face gives me a heart attack. I hate it. One tries to knock you back into lava with a sneezing fire at you. One tries to shoot you with ammo that you can steal from him and use back at him. One flies around the arena, showering you with attacks and other enemies to chase you, and is only vulnerable while moving instead of being stationary. And the sorceress herself is like a mix of all of them together, but now with the added bonus of using temporary vehicles to blow her up. And that's more or less how this all ends. After you've done your best sitting there for 3 hours watching the professor do this, putting up with Hunter's bullshit, and saving all the dragons like Mingus. Mingus? What kind of name is that? Actually, fair enough. You don't have a Mingus. Bianca becomes a good guy. You can beat the sorceress by shooting her in the goddamn head. And Hunter and Bianca become a couple. Ugh! God! Get up! I don't want to see this shit. This is a kid's game. There's not supposed to be any lewd in it. Isn't that right, Chris? Oh my God! Okay, ignore him. Isn't that right, Jimmy D. Fuller? What? Okay, ignore him. Isn't that right, I hear everything? Okay, if I'm not careful, my channel's going to be suspended. Help me out, Consgartner. Oh, God. But just like any Simon game, we aren't done yet. After we grab every single gem and dragon egg in the game, we unlock one final endgame stage. We've been to Nasty's Loot, we've been to Dragon Shore, and now our next stop is Super Bonus. That's an awful name, but you know what it does mean? Yes, everybody, it's time for a surprise. I was about to say a surprise Mexican dance round. What? In all fairness, though, I think this is the best reward of all the games. It calls back to Nasty's Loot in terms of it being another actual level, but now there's way more treasures to steal, way more ways of interacting with the stage, way more interesting things to see, places to explore. It's a great unlockable final level, and then this follows on to the true final boss, the sorceress.
I don't know how she did it, Spyro, but the sorceress must have survived that last battle.
Snälla jag. Bra, RNG.
Wait, how did you get another cameo? Yeah, I don't know either. It's almost like
Snälla.
stronger or angrier. She came back on her mobility scooter. This is honestly not a very good hidden boss, but you know, it's not Spyro 1, so I don't mind. Goodbye, Grandma. As for the super secret 100% hidden ending, it is just that. And that's why this is the best fucking game ever. I'm not kidding either. I treasure Spyro 3. It has an adorable wolf puppy you can play fetch with. It has freaks. It has a bit where you play Doom. It has a Matrix reference. I mean, who wasn't doing a Matrix reference in the year 2000?
Riveting! Tighten the hinge!
It has cowboy dinosaurs. I mean, do you have any cowboy dinosaurs? If you do, can I come over and see them? It has the ultimate revenge fantasy that surpasses Kill Bill by letting you chase down money bags at the end of the game and burn his completely flame-resistant pants in order to steal all of your gems back from him. And in conclusion, it has the best sound effect of all time. So I think it's safe to say Spyro 3 really is the year of the dragon. What a perfect little trilogy for the PlayStation. I'm sure glad it stopped there and they didn't try anything else. Hello, Caddy. Oh, shame I'm back. It's my evil twin brother, Batty. I bought something for you. Oh, for me. You should have. I deserve it. You know, I'm starting to think that Batty isn't actually all that bad. I mean, after all, who goes out of their way to give you a jigsaw puzzle? I wonder.
Multi-vanquish!
God, I can't believe it. It's me, another Spyro game. Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly. So after Insomniac Games left the franchise behind for Ratchet & Clank, we've now got Check 6 and Equinox teaming up to push this one out on the GameCube and PS2. As for the Xbox, and after they made Enter the Dragonfly, the reviews were so great, they closed down forever. Before anything else, I want to direct you to the demo screen of this game after you leave the start menu running a while. And you are going to watch it with me in its entirety. Ooh, these are nice stuff. Who am I going to pick for this save game then? Ooh. So the game begins and we get our first... Yeah, this looks good. Nothing to see here. It all looks top form. This is exactly like an interactive electronic video game. Also, this cutscene cacks. It goes on forever and it really has no right to. Do you want me to paraphrase exactly what happens in this entire cutscene? Wow, isn't everything great? Hello, my cheese. Oh no, it's Ripto. What are you doing here? That's a good question. Yeah, it is a good question. What are we doing here? What do you mean, what are we doing here? If you ask me one more question, I'm going to skin you. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, that's a good question. I'm here because Yeah, that is more or less exactly how this cutscene plays out. It's just a massive, one-sided conversation with Ripto and absolutely nobody else, while they all just stand there and beg him to steal all of his baby dragonflies. This is to lose everything you care about and watch all that you love turn to dust. After that, we all get an uncomfortable look into the youngest flesh mouth, and then off we go to save the dragonflies. Or else the other dragons won't be able to use them as human shield, and they have all sorts of cute names like Donkey.
Hey, it's fluffy. That's weird, because dragonflies aren't fluffy. Hey, it's Sandra. It's Sam.
Oh my spoiled custard. Is this how the game runs? Is the whole game going to run like this? Well, then someone had better catch it then. Come on, Simon, exit my dartboard. Why are you like this? Are you dying? Oh no, there's an ice gate that can only be opened by ice breath. Yeah, alright, so here's the thing. Collecting the dragonflies is the main mission in this game, but it is much easier to do than you think, because, yeah, the game is broken. Nah, it's not just broken, it's been shattered into 1,000 pieces. Infamously, you can even finish the entire game in less than 10 minutes by swimming through a hole in a net, flying over to the center of the hub world, and then pissing straight into the final boss board. Many years ago, I made a dedicated video about Enter the Dragonfly, and I was a puss. I didn't actually bother playing the game. I just broke it, finished it in 10 minutes, and shoved out a lazy joke video to cover my electric bill. But this time, no such excuses. I played it legit from start to end. So now I can confidently say, without a doubt, the game is still shat. And I'm not the only one that thinks that, right, Lady Emily?
I enjoyed Enter the Dragonfly.
Shut up! I mean, ostensibly, the game is the same as Spyro 1, 2, and 3, but instead of refining or going forward, it takes things away. Simon 1 had 6 hub worlds, Simon 2 had 3, Simon 3 had 4, and this game has 1 hub world. And not only that, it also has 8 levels. 8 levels in total. Simon 3 had 21 diamonds and Dartboard only has 8. Sure, they are much bigger than previously, and they do things like putting speedway courses inside those levels to beef up a single level instead of split them up. But it also means that there isn't as much visual variety, way too many flat and gaping chasms of spaces where a level should be, barely any gliding challenges aside from like 3 levels, and despite you having new power-ups to unlock in the forms of different elemental breaths, which is an idea I do love, there is only one single instance of returning to an older level to find something new with an unlocked breath, and all it involves you doing is grabbing kites by standing on children's heads. This also means the music is pretty limited in comparison to the PS1 games too, and I'm not sure why, but despite it being the same composer, it sounds like it's falling asleep most of the time. I don't think the music's bad necessarily, it's just too atmospheric and rich for its own good, especially for a game that looks like this. Can't deny though, Cloud9 is a tune. Not to mention, the game is insultingly easy. I breezed through most of it without even thinking about it. Check out this mission from the halfway point of the game.
Great. Hey, it's Takahiro.
And of course, I'm sure you've all noticed by now, the lag. Now, I can handle a bit of lag, that's not a problem, but what I can't handle is when the lag starts making things run in slow motion. No, don't worry, your video is not buffering or dropping frames, and you don't have cataracts. This is how the game works all the time. It never stops. I almost want to get a cheerleading squad in there to encourage it to run properly, and on many occasions it gets so close, but you can't quite get there. Come on, Simon, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Oh. And in some of the speedway missions and tank battles, it goes beyond PowerPoint presentation slides. It's like looking at a newspaper. It's a necessary evil, though, team, because we need to include the fog and blast physics. If there was ever a game I wanted to point up the fog on and see what the hell is going on with it, it would be Enter the Dragonfly. So I got my mate Boundary Break to look into the inner workings of the game, and this is what he found. Wow, how did the developers leave that in? Even if the game didn't run like a crusty pair of jeans, the whole thing still feels like it's underwater. Movement is so slow and extremely floaty. The gems take 3 years to hit the ground after you break them out of baskets. Oh man, oh jeez, are you a go? I don't mind the general graphics and the level aesthetics. Sometimes it can be quite nice, but what is it with these mouth animations? Is your face trying to run away from itself? You can't just take the low poly PS1 twisty smooth them out for the PS2. It was charming back in 1999, but in 2002 it all looks like a pair of old socks. As you could quite clearly see earlier, the game isn't finished. And I'm not talking about the gameplay removals either. Technically, it's a disaster as well. Have you ever played a game where there's a loading screen? To load a loading screen, Spyro has no drop shadow, making gliding a total pain in the sphinx. Enemies don't attack you. Spyro gives up walking and just floats everywhere. The progression atlas disappears and turns black. Spyro gets stuck in ladders. Charging decides to stop working entirely. Sound effects disappear at random. The wing deflect move you unlock, aside from only being needed for one single part of the game, doesn't even make its target when you do need it. Spyro loves to do these random warning animations after charge jumps and completely stop you in your tracks mid-air. The milk breath you get from Space Candy has no range. What? The camera controls often stop working entirely whenever you move. The camera forgets that it's supposed to be looking at you all the time. Sparks just refuses to eat butterflies when he desperately needs them for extra hit points. The Spitfire machine gun needs to be tapped over and over again to fire instead of just held down. Your flame breath sometimes doesn't attack at all. The characters are always turning into statues, especially during dialogue. Uh-oh, he stopped. Can someone put a pounding in it? It's my favourite one. Whenever you're in the tank, you're able to twist the turret with the shoulder buttons whenever you're stationed. But then when you start moving, you're allowed to twist the turret left, but then twisting it right stops working, only when you're moving. This game is incredible. And taking the coding issues out of the way, and the gameplay being stripped back from the PS1 days, the game's also unfinished in other weird ways, like with good old Rage Against the Machine back, who only appears one single time in the entire game, on level 1, and never comes back, which is probably for the best, because I don't like the cultural appropriation. And there's this bit where you talk to a monkey, finish a sliding mission, get a dragonfly, and then the game makers forgot to make the monkey offer you an extra dragonfly for doing the mission again on hard mode. So Sparks just turns around to you and says, oh, wait a second, there's another dragonfly mission here, but the monkey forgot to tell you about it, so do you want to do the slide again? Oh, and speaking of Sparks, most of the time he has the same voice as Spyro 3 that I love dearly. Except for one single instance when Spyro insults him and he outright just says the word hi. You can look up reviews of this game when it first came out on the internet, but honestly, I don't think it's possible to review this game. They're all just encyclopedias of everything wrong with it.
Hey, it's Shadow.
So when all is said and done and you can't stomach it any longer, you end up at the final boss, Ripto. Oh no, wait, I meant the only boss, Ripto. What is this game's daddy issue? And the boss itself is... Well, it's on brand, I'll give it that. Also worth mentioning that if you start this fight off, you encrypt your save file and can never leave the fight until you beat the game. So if you're going for 100%, do not go into the boss portal. You'll never come back. The fight itself is pretty... but the best thing about it is...
Jag hatar det här så himla mycket.
Yes, Enter the Dragonfly genuinely feels like a load of people got together in a meeting, one person came in and said, "Hey guys, I've got 8 new Spyro level ideas," and the rest of the team said, "Thank you." That is all. It is sadly the first of quite a few Spyro games that doesn't make me go. In fact, the game is so bad, I don't even think any children's TV presenters on CBBC would take a paycheck to advertise it to kids, would they, Chris Johnson?
Oh, they'll buy anything. CBBC's been showing the exact same episode of Tracy Econ on Luke. No one noticed. Little pricks.
So that's why you don't present CBBC anymore. The only major drops of praise I can give this game are that it gives you the ability to warp to any level right from the pause menu once you've already visited it. The sliding missions are admittedly a lot more fun than Spyro 3, and above all, at least it isn't racist.
Ooga boom! Oh, diggy diggy lolo.
Oh. Okay. By the way, guys, you can keep your trouble at the trolley, eh? Shit. The one phrase I had to hear at least 6 goddamn times over was...
Defend the Puffy Palace?
This dog fight is dog bad. The enemy planes can drain your health in seconds. They're too hard to hit. There's no aiming reticle, and the battleships take at least 1,000 missiles to take down. And after every 30 seconds of each failed attempt, I got thrown back to the goddamn Defend the Puffy Palace! The only way I could win this mission is by giving the battleships a good old ram over and over again while spamming the ever-loving hell out of the missile button. Because that's fun, isn't it? Actually, yes it is. Especially if it means avoiding...
Defend the Puffy Palace.
Luke, that wasn't even close. You're an embarrassment.
No.
The most annoying thing about Exit My Dartboard, though, is that the base is definitely there. I can see a started game. I can see a natural extension from PS1 Spyro to PS2 Spyro. It's extremely close to being a competent, simple, yet effective bit of comfort food, like a peanut butter sandwich. Except it's a peanut butter sandwich that has the bread, but replace the peanut butter with more bread. That's what this is. Spyro 4 is a bread sandwich. Oh, and who in Satan's pantry signed off on this credits image? I mean, I like it, it's funny. Wait a second, is your name Two-Eyed Willy? Thing is, though, I didn't just decide to play every level and beat the game. I decided to beat it all. I completed this game 100%. I got everything. I did everything. Just for the chance of having an extra cool hidden bonus ending thing, just like in all the other 3 Spyro games. And what did I get here? I got a secret ending cutscene. And what was it?
Well, everything is finally back to normal. Isn't it, Spyro?
Spyro Enter the Dragonfly makes me want to piss the bed. Well, that was a huge waste of living. I wish I didn't have to sit on a sofa and commit to playing a bad game on a giant TV, you know? Why can't I just play classic Spyro whenever I want, wherever I want? Now, son, turn that frown upside down, because Spyro the Dragon went portable. Part 2. You're a bit smaller. A bit of an old egg for the dragon. Simon seemed to flourish on the Game Boy Advance for multiple games before the next mainline console title. Starting off with Simon, silly old egg. Look at it. It's Spyro alright. He's running, he's jumping, he's flaming, he's charging, he's gliding, he's even hovering. It's just like classic Spyro. But now you can't see it. This is Season of Ice, with Digital Eclipse being the ones who made it. And before they even started making the game, they had to leap over one major obstacle. It doesn't fail. So if they were going to make a Simon game,